Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof.
Good afternoon. It's Thursday. It's 3 o'clock, and it's the Tom Marino Show, and it's time for you to be adrenalized. Why? Because you're here, you're alive, and you should be living your best self. And sometimes that takes a lot of energy to be your best self. So are you ready to be adrenalized? I hope you are. No matter where you are right now, whether you're driving home, while you're stuck in traffic, you're working out, whatever you're doing when you listen to this show, I hope that you are doing something that you take care of you. Make sure that you're taking care of you. And one way to do that is to just take a little second for yourself, take a deep breath, let that out, and relax. This is an opportunity for you to take in a different perspective. So welcome to the Tom Marino Show. I'm your host, Tom Marino, and I am so adrenalized right now. This has been an awesome and amazing day for me. First, it started with coming back from vacation this past week. I was in Jamaica, so I spent a lot of time by the pool, enjoying some mimosas, pina coladas. You know, it was really a great opportunity. The people in Jamaica are just so amazing. I just love everybody's, whole approach to life down there. It really makes you think about, sometimes I think we've got it all wrong. We need to take a little bit of break sometimes and just relax. And I think that's really what's really so important, is taking time for yourself. So I want to ask you a question. What are you doing right now to take care of you? I want to hear from you. I want you to call 631-451-1039. That's 631-451-1039. We are live in the studio. And I want to hear from you. What are you doing right now to take care of you? And while we're waiting for people to call in, I wanted to talk about mindset today. We talked about clarifying your mindset a couple of weeks ago. Really, the second time I was on the air, we started to talk about clarifying your mindset. And, I wanted to talk to you today about, really taking a minute to adrenalize your mindset and talk about what that really means. We are facing so much stress in the world right now. This whole situation with the Ukraine and gas prices and inflation and all of these incredible things that are happening that are causing us additional stress. There's a ton of obstacles that we are struggling to overcome. And in the midst of these obstacles, in the midst of these situations, we really need to remember to take care of ourselves. And one of those ways is to really clear your mind and work on what you want, right? There's only so much that we can do. We're 100% behind the Ukraine right now. I haven't met many people that right now are not saying that we should not be standing up for Ukraine. So all of you out there who have family members from Ukraine, I know I have clients that are of Russian descent and they have family that's in the Ukraine and in Russia, and everyone is scared. And it's so much of what is happening right now is there's a lot of fear. And there's a lot of unknown, and things are going to get tough. But we've got to get our mind on straight to deal with that stuff. We got to get our mind wrapped around what we can do to take care of ourselves. We have to get wrapped around what we can do for others. It's hard to let everyone know in the Ukraine that we're behind them and that we're supporting them. But one of the things that we can really do is clarify our minds to be kind to other people. There is so much hurt and pain right now in the world. We need to be kind to other people. We need to be kind to ourselves first, and we need to be kind with other people. So, how is this affecting you in your everyday life, right? All of this stress that you're facing. How is it affecting you, and what are you doing to take care of yourself? It's easy to become distracted by all of these terrible situations and all of these things that are happening. And I want to talk about mindset because there's a lot for us to learn from this. And again, we're in the studio live, so give us a call at 631-451-1039. And let's talk about mindset for a second. So I just wrapped up giving a presentation for Long Island Networkers. I had Adam on last week and Long Island Networkers, and they are an amazing community of people. And we just did our first leadership luncheon, and I spoke on leadership mindset. but leadership mindset from the perspective of the adrenalized mindset. But it's so interesting when I went on the web to look up what mindset means. I found all of these definitions. Established set of attitudes held by someone. That's one. 2, a set of beliefs that shape how you make sense of the world and yourself. The third definition I found was a fixed mental attitude or disposition that predetermines a person's response to interpretations of situations. And the fourth was an inclination or a habit. And there were several others. If you're just tuning in, this is the Tom Marino Show, and I am excited to be back in the studio today. And I want to hear from you. So give us a call at 631-451-1039. What are you doing to alleviate stress? What methods are you taking care of to take care of yourself? What are you doing? So give us a call. We want to hear from you. And we're talking about mindset and how to keep a positive mindset in these stressful situations. And a mindset is really a way. In my mind, it's a way that we express ourselves. It's what we say. It's how we interact with people. It's how we influence people. And I talked a lot about leadership mindset, and it was interesting. There wasn't much difference in the definition. Leadership mindset involves having certain attitudes, beliefs, and expectations that create the foundation of who you are, how you lead others, and how you interact and influence other colleagues. And leadership mindset, all these different mindsets. We talked about fixed and growth mindset, right? What is a fixed mindset? That fixed mindset is that, nothing can change, complacency, comfort. And I remember, that I didn't get to it in the show the last time on mindset, was talking about what it takes to go from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. And that requires a journey through comfort zones. It requires a journey out of your comfort zone into new zones. And we are facing the fear zone right now with the uncertainty of what is going on in the Ukraine and what that's going to mean long term to our nation, to their nation, to gas prices, oil prices, all of these things. We don't know what's going to happen. And we have some fear. And people are starting to get nervous. People see the inflation. I paid like $4.39 the other day at the gas station. I mean, it's insane. $4.39 a gallon. Like, holy cow. Like, it really makes you think. I mean, listen, in the grand scheme of it, it's extra $10, but it is an extra $10. And that's that's 3/4 of an hour of work for at minimum wage of $15, a little bit more than that. But you know what I'm saying? Like, we've got a lot of fear to work through. But I always encourage people to make fear an advisor. What is fear really saying to you? So how do you form a better mindset when you have this fear? Well, if you can get through the fear zone and you can acknowledge the fears that you have, we can move into a learning and a growth zone. When we first talked about this topic, we talked about to me versus for me. A to me mindset is I'm a victim. Nothing can get better. I don't have the skills that it takes. It's just the way that it is. If it ain't broken, why fix it? That's a very fixed mindset. That's a very to me mindset. Whereas a for you mindset is a growth mindset. A for you mindset sees everything as an opportunity to learn. And that's one of the things that I think is so important for us to embrace right now, is that for you mindset. This is happening for us. We may not fully understand what all of it is, but we need to acknowledge that this situation right now is happening for us. And if it's simply that we change our course and are a little kinder to each other, then that's great. All right, we're going to take a break. I want to hear from you. Give us a call. What are you doing to take care of yourself? How are you alleviating your stress in these days? 631-451-1039. That's 631-451-1039. And listen, go check out Tom Marino Coaching on Instagram during the break. Check out what we've been up to, what we've been doing. All right, I'll talk to you after this. Hey, Hey, this is Tom Marino of the Tom Marino Show here. Imagine you wake up and you've had a major sewer backup in your home. Well, let me tell you about a company that I've worked with personally, New House Restoration, where they take your damaged old house and make it a new house. For any water, fire, mold, or asbestos damage, please call them at 631-604-8590. That's 631-604-8590. New House Restoration.
Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel.
And welcome back to the Tom Marino Show. I'm your host, Tom Marino, success strategy coach, and it is, oh my goodness, it's Thursday already, and we have a full weekend ahead of us. I'm going to the Islander game tonight. We got a lot of different plans happening for this weekend, and I'm really excited about that. We got a big family dinner on Saturday night. We're just gonna keep busy because you know what? I think this pandemic thing is coming to an end. I don't want to curse it, but you know what? It's been nice to live a little bit more normal the last several days and weeks, and my kids finally had a chance to go back to school and not have to wear a mask, and it's nice to see some of the signs of normalcy returning because. Thank God that stress is coming to an end because we have the new stress, right? It's just like, just when you think something is going to be okay, there's always something else that comes and grabs you and jolts you and says, not yet, right? And for those of you who have a hyper-vigilant saboteur, we're only encouraging and validating that saboteur. And it's the recognition of it that's important, the self-awareness of that. So if you're just tuning in, this is the Tom Marino Show, and we are back. We are live in the studio. We are talking about the stress of the world that's going on, but we're really talking about refocusing our mindsets and understanding the importance of taking care of ourselves, but needing to have that mindset to do that. We need to make sure that we are taking care of ourselves and that we are also taking care of each other right now during these very difficult times. And we've got to be kind to each other. I keep talking about that, right? Just embrace one thing, change one thing, do something nice for someone, right? In times of tragedy, in times of struggle, in times of war, we can't lose sight on the importance of being there for each other, and we have to rally behind something. So, part of your mindset needs to shift around that, right? So what is an adrenalized mindset, right? I've been talking about choose your adrenalized life, live adrenalized. That's adrenalized, my word, people. That's my tagline, right? Choose your adrenalized life. And I want you to choose an adrenalized mindset. I want you to embrace an adrenalized mindset. And what is an adrenalized mindset? What does adrenalized really mean? And I was talking to a psychologist a few weeks ago, and he said to me, why did you choose a word that was about a stressful situation and that comes out in a stressful situation? I said, because that's where a lot of my clients are. That's where the world lives sometimes when they reach out for help, is in a stress situation. So it's relevant to the situation that the person may be reaching out for. But the adrenalized mindset, clinically, because I am a physician assistant by training, clinically, when we are in a fight or flight stage of life, a moment, when we are facing that bear or that lion that's chasing us and we're going to get eaten alive, we have a fight or flight response. And that's either we're going to take on that lion or bear or we're going to run and get the heck out of there, right? But we need Superman ability sometimes to get out of that situation. And where does that Superman ability come from? But from your adrenaline. Your adrenaline kicks in. You increase your heart rate. Your blood starts pumping all over your body, from your heart to all of your muscles to your brain. And what the adrenalized mindset is about is taking action and acting decisively, using your adrenaline to do that. Because when you have the energy in your muscles to run and you have the energy in your brain to think clearly, you can live adrenalized. You can be excited. You can move to something great because it's also the excitement hormone. Adrenaline is, you get a rush when you're excited about something. When you go to a concert and you see a great concert, you're adrenalized. You have energy flowing through your body. And in times when, I just did a post today I often hear from people, is I'm exhausted. Everybody's exhausted lately. How you doing? How's everything going for you? Oh, I'm exhausted. I'm so tired. I'm so busy. You know what? Sometimes I don't even think people realize that what they're saying is that I just am so bored. I don't know what else is going on. So I'm just going to use a word that makes like I'm busy, but I'm not, and I'm doing a lot, but I'm not. But the bottom line is that you need to adrenalize yourself. It's hard. It's a daily struggle for me to stay adrenalized. Don't think that I'm any different than any of you right now. It takes a minute. It's not easy to wrap your mind around it. But living adrenalized, what does that mean? It means to act decisively, right? Acting decisively. Indecision is one of our greatest forms of inaction, which paralyzes us. So we've got to learn how to act decisively. And adrenaline does that for us. If you're just tuning in, this is Tom Marino and the Tom Marino Show. We're talking about mindset. We're talking about stress. The phone lines are open. We are live in the studio. 631-451-1039. 631-451-1039. And we're talking about adrenalizing our mindset right now when the world is going through major stressor, another major stressor. We just come out of a pandemic, and now we go into, hopefully not a war, but there is a battle going on. There is a battle going on for democracy and freedom. And that stresses us out because it has an impact on all of us. At the gas pumps, everywhere we go, it has an impact. But I want you to stay adrenalized. So what is an adrenalized mindset? I want you to listen very clearly. It's an action mindset built on the foundation of self-awareness, of curiosity, continuous learning, value alignment, and expectations that empower us to act decisively. Well, that's a big mouthful, Tom. But it's about self-awareness. So what are you aware of right now about yourself? Is there something that needs to change? Is there something that you need to do? Is there something that you need to work on? What is it? I want to hear from you. Give me a call. Value alignment is so important. We talk about how when we make changes can be difficult because we go into a world of the unknown. But what we have to remember is that we possess a value system that provides knowledge into how to navigate that unknown. Right? If you know who you are, you know what your self-beliefs are, you know what your values are, you know what your fears are. If you have awareness of all of those different things, those become the guide map to figuring out the unknown. Gaining knowledge solves the issues of the unknown. And I always say, integrate fear in your life. Make fear a friend and advisor. Because if you make fear a friend and an advisor, isn't it easier to walk through a fear zone with a friend? Walk through it with a friend. Use the fears as knowledge, as information of what to be aware of. Because when we are fearful, we are more heightened, and we may see a lot of things that we don't ordinarily see. It kind of exaggerates what we see. So remember that it really is important to recognize your fears, not run away from them. Recognize them, honor them. And right now we have a lot of fears to recognize. We are afraid of how this is all going to impact us. How is it going to hit our pockets? Can we survive another thing? We just came out of a pandemic, and the world is starting to return to normal. People are starting to get jobs. A lot of people going back to work. A lot of people are doing things they haven't done in almost 2 years, right? Can we sustain another big change in our lives, in our world? So one way to stay focused on that is to have an adrenalized mindset. All right, we're going to take a break, and when we come back in the second half of the show, we will continue to talk about adrenalizing your mindset. And I do want to hear from you. So please call in at 631-451-1039. That's 631-451-1039. And we will speak to you after this break.
Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Here come bad news talking this.
Tom Marino here from The Tom Marino Show. Are you a Long Island business looking to expand your network? Sick of going to events and all you come home with is a stack of useless business cards? Check out Long Island Networkers. We grow your Long Island small business through our events. Meetups to develop relationships while doing a fun activity or group lunches curated to evolve your business. Check us out on Instagram or visit LongIslandNetworkers.com and expand your network through ours.
Clap along if you feel like
And welcome back to the Tom Marino Show. I'm your host, Tom Marino, Success Strategy Coach. Thank you for tuning back in. We are live in the studio today. So give us a call, 631-451-1039. That's 631-451-1039. I want to hear from you. I want to know what you're doing to take care of yourself in these stressful times. What are some of your routine self-care strategies that really are working for you? It's really important to have self-care strategies in times of stress and just in life in general. You know, it's really one of the things that when I'm working with my clients, you know, part of my, coaching program is to make sure we carve out time for you, for your self-care, right? You know, I was doing a luncheon earlier today, I mentioned, and, one of the questions came up of, if I love what I do, it's not really work. Do I really need boundaries? And I said, yeah, the answer to that is yes, because you can love what you do. You can absolutely have passion around it, love what you do, but seeing it as not work, which is what, if you can achieve that, is an amazing feat. But what is the impact that it does have on you? Because we're human beings. We all fatigue. We all have some form of fatigue. We have some form of exhaustion, some kind of physical exhaustion. But what we have to be able to do is have a boundary of when we take time for ourselves. That's what people struggle with, is they feel selfish, right? I help people navigate themselves through these selfish periods that they think are so bad. Selfishness is only bad when you're not regarding other people. That's when it's not nice, right? That's when it's not good. But having self-care regimen and taking care of your mind, your body, and your soul, those are essential to you being a productive person. So when people struggle with that, we try to craft a new language around looking at what it really means to be selfish. And it's not selfishness when you're taking care of yourself. It's self-preservation, it's self-care, so that you can be there for other people, so you can be selfless. And that's what I'm talking about too when we're talking about the adrenalized mindset. We spoke in the first half of the show on what is the adrenalized mindset, and it's an action mindset. It's built on self-awareness and continuously learning. And we talked about the fears that we are experiencing, and, moving through from the comfort zone to the fear zone to a learning zone. When you're in a learning zone, you start to grow. That's where the germination takes place. That's where things start to change for you. And my job is to navigate you through that learning period, right? Right now, I have a client that is, she has her own business. She's a financial consultant to small businesses. She helps them secure loans and a bunch of other stuff, provides budgetary support, things like that. And she started this business and she's worked so hard in this business. She's worked so hard and she's really struggling because it doesn't really align with her anymore. She's not as committed to it as she was originally. There's been a lot of changes in her life. She's lost her mom. She's had some other dramatic things happen for her over the course of her lifetime. And she is struggling right now to figure out her path forward. And part of my method is to start with, what do you want, right? How do you clarify your mindset? What do you want? What do you want to do? Because when you get into the growth zone, and we talk about the growth zone, when you get into the growth zone, that's where you start to make your dreams a reality. because you've taken the information from the fear zone, you've taken the information from the learning zone, and you really can hone in on what dreams you would really like to see come to fruition. What's your vision? What do you want for your life? What do you want? And then why do you want it? Because you have to have a why to what you want, and that's what a lot of my clients struggle with, is they feel like they're betraying other people by wanting something different for themselves, right? Someone goes to school and becomes a lawyer, and they realize they don't want to be a lawyer. They want to be an entertainer. So they go to pivot, but they meet all of this resistance and all of this judgment, but they have profound self-awareness. But they let this judgment get in the way of them really achieving their dream. And they battled through that, and those judgments hold you back. So when we work together, part of my job in creating self-awareness is to help you to recognize what are the judgments and the beliefs that you formulated, right? Because if you don't know what you value, you don't know what you believe about yourself, you're going to have significant trouble in finding the success that you want and living the dream that you want. Because values are so closely connected to everything that we're going to do. And when you don't have value alignment, you have conflict. If you're just tuning in, this is Tom Marino and the Tom Marino Show, and we are live in the studio. If you're driving home right now and you want to talk to someone, give me a call at 631-451-1039. Let's talk about what you're afraid of right now with all the stress in the world. Like I said earlier, we've come out of a pandemic. We're moving into different times with this war in the Ukraine. Who knows what's going to happen? But, we got to take care of ourselves, right? We've got to adrenalize our mindset. And adrenalizing that mindset is figuring out what do we want to learn from these experiences, right? Nobody fails in life. The only thing that when you fail is if you don't learn from the experience. That's when you truly fail. That's when you have a missed opportunity. And if you're struggling right now with this fear of failure, or you're struggling with any fear where you're not going to be successful because you don't trust yourself, or you're judging yourself too harshly, recognize that an adrenalized mindset is about continuously learning, seeing your failures as an opportunity to learn. Because when you really fully embrace a for you level of consciousness, when you embrace a for you mindset, when you realize that things happen in the world for us, then you can move forward knowing that there's opportunity at every place. So what is the opportunity right now for you with the stress of what's going on in the world, right? What are the opportunities? What are the things that you've dreamed about doing that you want to execute on? Execution is the key, right? You can talk all you want about it. And this is where, as a coach, it's really important that, my job as a coach is to have you take ownership of what you want to do and, coach you through that situation, but make you execute it. Hold you accountable to execute it. Because we could talk all we want, but if you're not executing, then you don't need me. I can help you execute your struggles and change your struggles so that they're no longer struggles. The choice method that I talk about, the clarifying your mindset, harnessing your values, overcoming obstacles, integrating fear, activating change, establishing boundaries and expectations, that's the Tom Marino method. That is a method that I developed through watching and observing every one of my clients over the last several years. Everybody you can apply that to anything. At the leadership luncheon I spoke at today, you can apply the choice model to creating the vision, values, and mission of your organization. You do work through that, you will have a stellar mission, vision, and value. Somebody came up to me and said, could you work with my staff to help them get out of their own way to achieve and perform better? Absolutely. I talk about the show Billions on Showtime sometimes. I'm the Wendy Rhodes to your businesses, right? I'm that performance guy. I'm going to help you find the success in the people that work with you and for you. That's what this is about. That's what coaching is about. And my method of choice and adrenalizing people is something that really works. I've seen it work. It's a proven strategy. All right, we'll talk a little bit more about the choice method after this commercial break. I want to hear from you. We're live in the studio. Give us a call at 631-451-1039, 631-451-1039. And listen, if you haven't checked out my Instagram lately, go to @TomMarinoCoaching. That's @TomMarinoCoaching. And I want you to leave a comment on today's post. Today's post was, I'm exhausted. Everybody says they're exhausted. I want you to go leave a comment on that post and let me know what your exhaustion is. And let's have a conversation about it. All right, we'll talk to you right after this break.
I'll be just fine. No offense to you. Don't wait.
Hey, this is Tom Marino of the Tom Marino Show here. Imagine you wake up and you've had a major sewer backup in your home. Well, let me tell you about a company that I've worked with personally, New House Restoration, where they take your damaged old house and make it a new house. For any water, fire, mold, or asbestos damage, please call them at 631-604-8590. That's 631-604-8590. New House Restoration.
Because I'm happy. Clap along if you
And welcome back to the Tom Marino Show. I'm your host, Tom Marino, success strategy coach. And I am so glad that you are back. And if you're tuning in for the first time, we've been talking about mindset today and how to have a positive mindset and adrenalized mindset during all these challenging experiences that we're going through. You know, we were talking earlier about the situation in Ukraine and the stress that that's bringing to the world. And you know, we have to stay positive. We have to understand that things happen for us and that everything is going on for our benefit. And we need to see everything as a learning opportunity. And that's part of an adrenalized mindset, is understanding that we are continuously being approached with opportunities to learn and to grow. And, you know, again, do something simple. Do something simple while we are struggling through these stressful times. The more goodness, the more positive energy that we can put out there, you know, the better. You know, I was just thinking about it. I don't know what made me think about it, but, you know, in the movie Elf with Will Ferrell, you know, there's a scene where they're in Central Park and Santa's sleigh won't take off, and it starts to gain energy by spreading holiday cheer, right? Well, we're not looking at any holidays coming up soon other than St. Patrick's Day, but the holidays, you know, holiday cheers, it's always a great time of year in December when things are decorated for Christmas and people are excited about the holidays and the end of a year and the beginning of a new year, and there's just so much more positive energy around that time of year. It's really hard to sustain that throughout the course of the year with all the stresses that we face. So what are some of the things that you do to help yourself in times when we can find ourselves in a rut? What are some of your self-care strategies? Those are the things you need to start to evaluate for yourself. Is do I take time to ground myself? Do I take time to meditate? Do I take time to exercise? What are the self-care activities? And, you know, as a coach, we hold people accountable to doing those things, right? That's part of what my job is to help you not just be successful in your professional life, it's to be successful in your life. What is your version of success, right? If you're listening and you want to give us a call, we have a few minutes left in the show. 631-451-1039. That's 631-451-1039. And I want to hear from you. What are you doing to take care of yourself during these difficult times? You know, I want to also present you with the challenge for this month. All right, we are in March, right? We're about to embark on spring towards the end of the month, right? April showers bring May flowers, you know, all of that stuff, death and new life all at the same time. But what are you going to do differently now that the first quarter of the year is almost coming to an end? We're in our last month of the first quarter. What are you working on? What are you changing? What's changing for you? What opportunities are being presented to you? I want you to raise your awareness to that. I want you to, that's part of the adrenalized life, is raising your self-awareness. It's raising your awareness in general to what are the opportunities in front of you and what's holding you back from taking that opportunity. You know, you got to put yourself out there. Things just don't happen magically in the universe, right? You have to take action. You've got to take action, and an adrenalized mindset is about acting decisively. And how do you take action decisively? Well, in my coaching method, in the choice method, it's about understanding what you value and what you want and what you need, right? And then setting up a plan to achieve that. Creating a plan, right? Because if we fail to plan, we plan to fail. You've got to have a plan. And some people don't know how to make a plan for themselves. Some people really struggle with that, right? How many of you, I'm sure, have, taken a daily planner, written a checklist out, and then if you, at the end of the day, you went back to it and said, oh, I forgot that was on there, right? It's hard to sustain. It's hard to journal every day. It's hard to write things down and then go back and visit them. But the key is that if you need help planning, there are people out there to help you, and I'm one of those people. I'm here to help you, especially during difficult times of stress like this. This is what I was built for. My opportunity is now. Living when in a world where we have been stressed, and we're always stressed, people. We have a lot of energy coursing through our veins. Now, I talk about adrenaline coursing through your veins and living an adrenalized life, but sometimes there are side effects to too much adrenaline. It destroys you. It can hurt you. So what I have to make sure we do is adrenalize you for sustainability, creating a plan to make you sustain the life that you want the way that you want it. If you're just tuning in, this is Tom Marino and the Tom Marino Show. We have a few minutes left, and we are live in the studio, 631-451-1039. That's 631-451-1039. And, one of the things we've been talking about the whole time is self-care. And I opened up the show I just got back from Jamaica, and it was great to get away, and how important it is to get away. And, I love that I'm in, MacArthur Airport right now recording this, and it's, I'm by the baggage claim, and people coming back from trips, right? Trips and going to visit people and going on vacation. It's time to go back to doing that, people. If you haven't done that, just bite the bullet, take the risk, get away. It's necessary. It's necessary to take care of yourself, your family, and to take a trip and make time for each other. We get bogged down so many times with all of the stress of the world, with the people in our lives that we're taking care of. It's hard when you have, older parents, or you have children, and you have your pets, and you're taking care of all of these things. How often are you taking care of you and your spouse? How often are you taking care of you? How often are you making the time for you? And that's part of making the plan of self-care, is setting aside the time and committing to the time, right? When I was in Jamaica, you're sitting there and you're sitting by the pool and you're just relaxing, and everything is just so beautiful and so fluid. And there's nothing is wrong with life at that moment. And it was such a great opportunity to be present. Vacation is such a grounding experience for me. I love standing on the beach, putting my feet into the sand as the waves come over your feet. And you just get sucked into the earth, and it's wonderful feeling so grounded. And it's a complete moment of utter satisfaction for me. And it's so important to experience that every single day. But we don't always take the time to experience that. Sometimes we only have vacation to do that, and I just love when we travel, and we've been to Jamaica several times, and I love the people in Jamaica. And it was funny, one of the days it was very cloudy, and the clouds had rolled in over the pool, and I turned to the lifeguard, and I said to the lifeguard, I said, "Where is the sun?" And he said, "Yeah, man, it's behind the clouds." And I said, that is such a beautiful mindset. Where is the sun? It's behind the clouds. How many of you said it's in the sky? How many of you said it's not out if it's cloudy? The point is, the sun is always there. But when we lack clarity, we don't see the sun. And me, myself, getting into that pool on a cloudy day in Jamaica, I said to the lifeguard, "Where is the sun?" And he said, "It's behind the clouds." He reminded me that would be called object permanence in psychology, for those psychologists out there listening. The object, it's behind the clouds. It's always there. We may not see it at the moment, but it's there. We have to remember that in these difficult times. We have to remember that when stress comes about, the sun is always behind the clouds. That's the adrenalized mindset. It's recognizing that it's behind the clouds. So this has been a fun hour, and I am so glad that we had the opportunity to chat. And I hope that you are ready to change your mindset this weekend. If you're struggling with a difficult mindset, if you're fixed and you want to start in a growth mindset, check out some of the stuff that I have on my website. There's plenty of articles there to talk about this. Go to tommarino.com. That's tommarino.com. And follow me on Instagram at tommarinocoaching. I would love to hear from you. I want to know that you're listening, and I want to hear from you. And if there's any way that you feel that I can help you, reach out to me and we can set up a personal success strategy call. So take a minute, take some time for yourself this weekend. I want you to find at least 30 minutes a day for yourself where you're going to do nothing but take care of you. All right, this is Tom Marino and the Tom Marino Show. Until next week, choose your adrenalized life.
Feel like happiness is the truth, because I'm happy.
Tom Marino here from The Tom Marino Show. Are you a Long Island business looking to expand your network? Sick of going to events and all you come home with is a stack of useless business cards? Check out Long Island Networkers. We grow your Long Island small business through our events. Meetups to develop relationships while doing a fun activity or group lunches curated to evolve your business. Check us out on Instagram or visit longislandnetworkers.com and expand your network through ours.